So how old were you when you left your home country?
Well, actually, I was a fairly young man when I started first studying in the UK and went to the UK. But I always went back somehow.
Okay.
And I'm still in touch, of course, with many places in the world and with my family, which is spread out all around the world.
I think you must value very much this Taiwanese, family kind of three generations living together, because
I love it.
You're away from home. So obviously you value this a lot.
See, home, I mean, this is I don't want to misquote if it was Seneca or if it was Cicero, but basically home is where your heart is. Oh. And it's not necessarily, home, I feel that my heart is in various places in this world, and one, of course, is here in Taiwan, but also in Switzerland. But I do feel that I feel very close here to Taiwan, and also the people here in Taiwan. Right. And I love the food. I mean, this is one thing most foreigners will tell you about the food, and the food is fantastic.
Yeah. What's your favorite? That's typically Taiwanese.
I'm going to tell you now something that is very typical Taiwanese, and it's going to shock the media, because the media has propagated against this so much.
Shock me.
Yes. One is chow tofu.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, I'm sorry.
Stinky tofu.
Stinky tofu, yes. And and this is actually something that may be surprising because it is something that a lot of foreigners, I think the media has kind of made a little bit of propaganda by saying that foreigners don't like it. I even like the blood rice.
Oh, okay, the pig's blood cake, right?
The tian bula, every time you have the tian bula, and then you have inside of it, you have the rice with the blood. Yes, the pig's blood, and it's kind of a very kind of blackish type of looking rice. Right. I forgot the name in Chinese now.
猪血糕.
猪血糕, that one. And basically, I liked it a lot too.
Well, good for you. Good for you.
And the 1,000-year-old, 100-year-old egg that they're talking about, that also foreigners don't like.
Right.
I like too.
You like all the ones that people don't. That
yes, interesting, right? Like. And also I cannot demonstrate it right now, but since we're in this type of conversation that I can make a little bit of a joke about myself too, I'm extremely good when it comes to kweitze or chopsticks.
Oh, really?
And I don't know how this happened. The first time I came to Taiwan, I picked up chopsticks, and I was already better than 90% of the population in Taiwan.
Right. You can pick up peanuts, right? And peas.
Peanuts is not a problem. I mean, basically, it's more of when you see a fly flying around, I could catch it and throw it back.
Really? Okay.
Well, almost that good. But
yeah. Well, I heard that there is one thing that you thought maybe Taiwan can do better is you really love history, and Taiwan, if it could work harder at preserving its history. In what sense do you mean by that? Because I remember reading your interview somewhere.
Yeah, that was a few years ago when I.
Yeah. But can you explain? Because I think you do make some sense there.
But interesting. Since I said it, I see also that there has been a lot more done in that field.
Maybe because of what you said.
I don't think I have that much influence, but thank you very much that I'm part of this influencing people who influence that type of decision.
Right.
But yes, I think already quite a bit has been done on this. But what I think history is generally an important aspect, because one can learn so much from it. And not just from, there's so much that one can learn out of this. And I think it's very important to keep that understanding alive, because past mistakes don't have to be repeated. But sometimes one has the feeling, and I don't want to elaborate too much on this, but perhaps you can understand what I mean. But sometimes I have the feeling that people just don't look at history at all because they think it's not important. But I think it is. And that's why I'm also very impressed by the whole aspect of having different generations living in one household, because you can learn from the elder generations. I used to love talking to my grandparents because I was, of course, interested in history, but it was so interesting to see what the world was like, in their lifetime.
Yeah.
And that's at least something one can engage in, and so easily actually in Taiwan, especially if the families live very close together.
Right. Well, a point well said. Well, Nick, it's been so much fun talking to you and hearing your stories, and you're definitely very versed in what you do, and you love your job and you love the people
Absolutely,
here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for this time.
Well, thank you, Shirley, and thank you also to RTI for having me here. So it's been fantastic. So thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for watching, people. I'm Shirley Lin.